Hello, darlings. Hello, my cherished ducklings. How are you? I'm Peri Lyons. This is Moonstruck. What is this? This is Moonstruck TV and A1R Radio. I'm here for you every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm here to take your calls. You can call in from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all of the UK. The U.S. I think I'm forgetting someplace. Jupiter. And I'm here to answer your questions psychically. So there are two things before I take my first caller. And I always get I have to say, I get the coolest people calling it. There's one exception in the last 5 years, but aside from her, I just get the greatest people. And I love my work, and and I'm here to help in whatever way I can. So two things. Before we start, there's something, I talk to a lot of clients, and I get a lot of clients who said, well, this psychic said this to me like 8 years ago, and I feel like, so what I'd like you to know is even real psychics, which for better or for worse, I'd like to think I am, because it chose me, I didn't choose it. I was a simple English major. So there are a couple of things that I'd like you to watch out for in psychics. First of all, don't make anybody else responsible for your life. Your life is yours. And there are psychics out there who maybe aren't all the ones on A1R Radio, Moonstruck, are great. They really are. They're the real deal. But if somebody tells you that they have to lift a curse off you, pshaw, I say. And you have to give them money to do that. Don't do it. You don't have a curse on you. You don't. The second thing is, we all have our methods. I spent years learning by trial. I did like $5 readings out of my house for 2 years, just so I could, in exchange for people giving me like $5, it was my training time. In exchange, I asked for them to give me the latitude. Oh, hi, Nicole. I'll be with you in about 3 minutes. To say whatever I got. So even if whatever I was getting was like really strange, if I got like, I'm getting a picture of your great aunt playing the tuba with a bowl of petunias in her head, and the tuba is filled with Chex Mix. I had two years doing $5 readings, so I could say whatever I got without censoring myself. And as it turned out, that particular client did have a great aunt who played the tuba, but without the Chex Mix. What I'm trying to say is, I'm here for entertainment. I love my job and I'm good at it, but you are in charge of your life and your destiny. And the more empowered you are, the better off we all are. So that's all. Having said that, you can trust what I say. Just, live your life according to your lights. If I can give you some insight, that's great. But, the last thing I want to say before I do the psychic weather is, people ask what my process is. I have these, I sort of have guides. They just showed up. And it's sort of like I play charades with them. They'll kind of show me a picture, or sometimes they'll act something out. And I do my best to interpret it. So, I'll get pictures, and sometimes I'll hear words. And with mediumship work, there's a great story about how that just happened for me one day, but I'm going to spare you the story right now. Next week, with mediumship work, it's not, it's totally normal for me. The people just sort of show up, and there they are, and I describe them, and we have a little conversation, and it seems pretty normal to me. I guess other people might not see it that way. Anyway, so I'm just going to, Nicole, do me a favor while you're waiting. What I'd like you to do is take some I'd like you to do this breath because it really centers you and helps me read you. So I'd like you to breathe in deeply through your nose, drop your shoulders, and then as you breathe out like you're blowing out a birthday candle, like that. Just do that a few times. As I said before, that stimulates what's called the vagus nerve, not the vagus nerve where you go to Nevada and lose a lot of money, but the vagus nerve, which helps regulate our central nervous system. Okay, having said that, we're going to do the psychic tarot weather, which is a lot like regular weather, except less damaging to crops. I'm going to pick 3 cards, and it's for the next week, starting today. So first part of the week, middle part of the week, last part of the week. These are influences that I'm getting for you. And okay, wow. Looks to me like the first part of the week, you might have a decision in front of you where you feel like you have to choose between 2 things. What this card says is it says to me, you don't have to make any sudden decisions about anything right now. If you have one job and you suddenly want to quit that job and go find another, what this card says is stay in the job you're in and wait until you sort of land a new job. Don't make any sudden decisions about stuff right now. This can also mean that you might be balancing like 2 lives, in your life. So you might be either sort of commuting far away, but I'm not getting that for this. I'm getting that right now for the beginning of the week, you're going to feel like suddenly you have to make a decision. You don't. It'll wait. I love doing that. What's the next card? The next card is, all right. It's not my favorite card to get, but it's not as bad as it looks. This is the 9 of Swords, and it's a woman who has perhaps foolishly decorated her bedroom with swords on the wall, which I wouldn't recommend. And she's also got a really hideous coverlet. So and she looks upset. She might just be thinking, I should have kept the receipt because this coverlet is really ugly and I want to return it. But what it actually means is you might be going through a little anxiety or some sleepless nights. When you get this card, it means, yeah, you are going through a little anxiety and you might be having some sleepless nights. I don't know about you guys, but the last couple of nights, I couldn't sleep and nobody else I talked to could sleep either. So it might just be that. But it also means that the anxiety is going to come to an end. You're going to figure this out. So oddly, what this card is saying is, if you're feeling anxious, it'll pass. Don't give it too much weight. Obviously, have your feelings, but you might be blowing something out of proportion. You're okay. But get the damn swords out of your bedroom. Okay. And the last one, what's the last one? Oh, we love this card. The Wheel of Fortune. This, to me, is a very simple card. If you watch the show regularly, and if you do, thank you, and I love you. I love you anyway. It's unconditional. And that color looks great on you. This card, the Wheel of Fortune, essentially means your luck wasn't so good, and it's about to really change for the better. It's a very straightforward card. I remember I got this card for myself about 12 years ago when I was alone and living in a tiny apartment and was like, this is awful. And I got this card in the spread for myself. And 2 days later, I had met the man of my then dreams and moved into a really cool apartment, got a great job. It's kind of a really great card. So if you've been experiencing what you think of as bad luck, or if you're like, oh, when is this going to end? Things are about to take a turn for the better. It's it's almost a fortune-telling card. It is a fortune-telling card, but it's a good fortune-telling card. So enjoy the end of the week and let me know what happens. Nicole, are you still there?
Thank you.
Hi, Angel. How are you? Hi. So here's how I'm really happy you called in. Thank you. And I'm glad you're doing good.
Thank you.
Yay. So I like to connect people through their birthdays. You don't have to tell me the year, but tell me what day and month your birthday is.
February 5th.
Oh, you little Aquarius, you. You guys are so mysterious. I think you're from a different planet, but that's just me. a good planet. But
I feel like we are. I feel
definitely,
like I am sometimes. I do feel different.
yeah, but you know what? That's a good thing. Your originality is, and your unusual way of thinking, which is very truthful and very insightful and very on target, just so you know, is a lovely thing about you. And my favorite quote this week is from the poet Jean Cocteau, who said, "Whatever the public criticizes us for, cultivate that. It is yourself." So, how can I help you? Do you have love in your
I
mind,
just.
Nicole?
I'm sorry.
Do you have love on your mind? Is this a love question?
Um. No, it's more of a. Well, a little bit, but it's more of a. I've been going through a lot lately, and I I don't know. I feel kind of lost a little bit.
Um, you know, first of all, I know the feeling. One thing I would like to tell you is I don't know what's going on this past 2 weeks, but everybody, you're not alone. Everybody is feeling lost. I call this the caterpillar soup moment. Let me explain this, and then I'll get very specific about you. So bear with me. Um,
Okay.
when a caterpillar walking along, and then it is going to turn into the larva, I forget what you call it, before it becomes a butterfly. When it turns into the cocoon, the entire caterpillar dissolves. So everything that was the caterpillar just dissolves, and it turns into caterpillar soup. And what that caterpillar soup is the nutrients for what's about to be the butterfly. But when we're in what I call a caterpillar soup moment, which is where we feel like our old structures are maybe not working, or we've grown past our limitations, but we just like, now what? It's actually the moment right before we become a butterfly. I mean, not literally, that would be strange and upsetting, but a beautiful winged creature with freedom and gorgeous colors. And I feel that that's what's happening with you now. I feel like you've outgrown a lot of your limitations, and a lot of us think our limitations are our identity. When I stopped being flaky, I didn't know who to be because I thought flaky was my identity. Turns out it wasn't. But I didn't know, like I was so used to being that, I didn't know what to be. Um, Here's what I get about you. You're being asked to kind of step out of your comfort zone a little. And you're also being asked, because you're so empathetic. Nicole, you take care of everybody around you. You really do. Is that true?
Yes.
And I think you've lost sight of what your needs are. And I think you've forgotten that you have a right to your own needs, your own life, your own time, and your own desires. But I think you think you don't know what your desires and what you want and what your dreams are. You do. And what I'd like you to do, and I'll pull a couple of cards for you too. I'd like you to go get like a notebook and a pen. I know, a little crazy, and I'd like you to write down every time something this week, no matter how small or big, every time you enjoy doing something this week, I'd like you to just make a little note of it, because your angels are telling me that you're expanding into a more expressed, more powerful, I'm going to say more successful version of yourself. But there's a little part of you that's scared to do that, because it's sort of like you don't want to offend the people around you by being your fullest self. There's part of you that sort of wants to stay a little small to make other people feel better about their small choices. So, I think in the past you had a really not fun the last 14 months, not fun. But a lot of the friends who walked away, a lot of the things you lost were actually not for you. And it's like when you clean out your closet and you make room for all the new clothes, but they haven't arrived yet. You've been unconsciously making room for a bigger and better life. Is any of this making sense so far?
Yes.
Do you know how wonderful you are? Because you are. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not trying to borrow money or anything. So,
Thank
did
you.
you have? Well, we're not done yet. You're not getting off that easy, sugar. Okay.
Oh, no.
Did you have 2 breakups? This feels like 2 people in your life who you thought were important kind of vamoosed in the last year. Is that the case?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry. I'm not talking about past. I'm talking about like just kind of let you down. I will tell you that it feels like, first of all, there's some sort of job that you'd be really good at, kind of waiting for you. Is there? Have you thought about, like, this is crazy, and just you can tell me I'm crazy or have me committed or whatever. Are you really good at things to do with beauty?
No, I don't believe so. Anyways, I don't.
Maybe what they're telling me is what I'm getting is that you're really good. You're really good with people.
Yes, yes, that I am.
Yeah. And oh, I'm sorry, my guides just corrected me. What you're really good at. Oh, and I'm all tearing up now because that's how I know this is right. What you're really good at is seeing the beauty in people. You see the best in people.
Yes.
That's never going to leave you, and I'm telling you that's a difficult gift because people will not always live up to what you see in them.
Yeah.
So, other 2 things I want to say. Start seeing the beauty in yourself, inner and outer. I can't physically see you, but I can see you with my heart. You're lovely, outside and in. Start taking some of the compassion and forgiveness that you extend to other people, and sometimes they don't deserve it. And move that towards yourself. Stop being so nice to people who don't deserve it. Because if somebody lets you down once, okay, stuff happens. Twice, let's think about it. 3 times, go get a different friend. I want people around you who support you, and people like that are coming towards you. The other thing I'd like to say is you would make a really good counselor or a therapist or
Yes.
What? Why are you laughing?
Because I've always been told that since I was younger. I listen to people, and it's I always see the good in people, and I let them talk, and I listen, I hear them out, and I like to see all sides of the story, and kind of relate to. I've been through a lot of my life, so I kind of relate to a lot of different people,
Yeah. Well, you're an empath. That word gets thrown around a lot, and usually by people who say, "I'm an empath." Like, well, really? How nice for you. You don't say that, but you are. I think the thought of like going back to school and becoming a therapist is a little daunting because, like, how do you pay for it and all that stuff. I'm not ordering you to do this, but it's something that if you want to explore that, you would make a really good therapist. You'd also make a really good drug and alcohol counselor, not from personal experience, but just because you get people. You would also make a really good kind of life coach. And that is not an expensive certificate to get. I feel like you're really smart and really insightful. I also feel that the last card I drew for this week, the Wheel of Fortune card, which says like, oh, your luck's about to change. kind of, I feel like that's especially for you. Are you moving soon? Or did you just
No.
move?
A couple of months ago, yes.
Okay, cool. I like this new place. Fix it up a little more. You want to paint it all these different colors, and you've been a little scared too. Go crazy, girl. I also feel like, are you in a relationship now? Because I feel like there's something back and forth, on and off.
Yes, I am.
Okay, is it a solid relationship, or is it an on and off relationship?
It's
solid.
It's a relationship where I yes and no, if that makes sense.
It's kind of, is it kind of on and off? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, it's off, on and off. Yes.
Okay, here's what I'd like you to think about. I think we've got four minutes. So if it's okay, I'm just going to stay on you because I just really like you.
Thank you. I really need it right now.
Well, you deserve it. The card I picked for you about relationships is the King of Swords. And when I get the King of Swords, it says to me that this person, it's kind of, they give you kind of conditional love, or maybe they're a little critical, or you feel like you're never quite, don't know where you stand with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bossy. Get the heck out of there. You deserve better. And there's somebody coming your way who will see you. But it's time for you to stop settling. It's time for you to come out of your comfort zone. I would do one thing a day that scares you. I mean, I don't mean skydiving. I mean, you're welcome to, but it's an insane thing to do. So don't do that. But do one thing a day that scares you a bit. Like, and what I mean by that is maybe call a friend and reach out to somebody and talk about yourself for a change. Because, other people talk to you about them. But reach out to your friend and ask for help, or find out about funding for school, or ask your friends to introduce you to a good person. Do you mind? Are you in like a church community? There's some sort of community you're in. What is that?
No, I'm not in a community. No, I'm not going to church.
Well, you don't have to go to church. There's some sort of community waiting. Gosh, come on, guys, get specific. We've only got 2 minutes. Hold on, I'm asking my guys what they're talking about. Okay. Oh gosh, is there a group of friends you've had for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. I like most of them. Some of them you're going to outgrow, but that's okay. I think you're going to meet this person I'm seeing coming towards you. I think August-ish, and it's going to be through some sort of community, a church, synagogue, a pagan coven, a class of some. I'm not sure what it is. A volunteer group. I've got 60 seconds. So in the 59 seconds I have, let me sum up, because I feel here's what you need to know. A, you're wonderful. You really are. And start giving to yourself more of what you give to other people. Take some time and space for yourself. Don't be so available to other people. Take a little time. Write down anything, and I'm serious, get that notebook, write down anything you notice you like doing. Or anything, because it's going to point you towards where you're going. And the last thing I want to say is things are about to get a lot better. They just are. I promise, in as much as a human being can promise that. But within the next
Thank
2
you.
weeks, you're going to start seeing a real upswing in both how you're feeling about yourself. You're going to have some really nice opportunities that I want you to keep your eye out for, and start saying yes to opportunities, because you can be a little shy. But by this time next year, you're not going to recognize yourself. I mean, you're not having extensive plastic surgery. I don't mean that. You're going to be in a much happier, much more secure place.